right, jabronis, we're back. Hope everybody had a great week coming off the Halloween candy extravaganza and the beginning of the Holy Holiday Triumvirate. I actually got no trick-or-treaters. None. And this is not the first time. This I was at least not as mad about because there was nobody on my street walking around, no families. I guess they're doing that trunk or treat thing these days. So there's no, whatever that is. I think they go to a parking lot and all these shady characters pop their trunk and they got candy in their trunk. So they do that. I don't know. That could be what it is. But I guess because it's, everybody's there together, it's a little safer during the day. I don't know the premise behind it, but I guess that's what they do these days around here. So there was no families walking around, no kids, no costumes, which was a little bummer because I like to see the costumes and see what, what kids got going on these days. If there's any creativity going on, I like to say hi to the parents, thank them for their sacrifice and service, walking around with these piss pants kids so that they could get their sugar rush and their type 2 diabetes. But nothing this year. But again, I wasn't as mad because the previous couple years I've actually been here at the compound for Halloween. There have been kids and families walking around and they just skipped my house. So talk about depressing. At least there was nobody on the street this year. The last couple years, they just look and walk right on by. They want nothing to do with the compound. I don't know what it is. That gives some sort of bad vibe out there to the community. So I guess it's something for us to work on. But I hope everybody else enjoyed their time. I saw a lot of good photos of costumes. I saw a lot of good families like having matching costumes with their kids and stuff. That's pretty cool. I feel like that's a real cool experience to share as a parent maybe one day, is getting to do something cool like that your kid also thinks cool that you can be a part of and help make that night better, that day experience, whatever, that make it all better for them. So that looked fun. What didn't look fun was there was a couple of gubernatorial elections going on around the country, mainly on the East Coast. I think that's what we paid attention to here in this fake little Truman Show universe in the DC area. But I mean, the I vote stickers and the pictures, like it's the same tired act every time there's some sort of election ever that the news wants you to care about or tells you you need to care about. And it's the same people doing it. It's such a tired act. There's an election for something going on. They tell you it's important to vote. They don't give you any sort of lessons why. People post their pictures like that they're better people now, just like they have their little vaccine passports they take pics of to let you know that they're a better person. They care more about the world than you do because they voted. So here's my sticker that I'm going to wear on my jacket for the next 16 months so that everybody knows morally, you're here and I'm up here in the ivory tower of morality, goodness, and actually contributing to society. But they don't tell you like why it's important to vote, what election is even going on, why that's important to know about. Nothing. Just go vote. Vote for my guy, and then you'll be good. If you voted but voted for somebody else, I'll call you names. You're a piece of garbage. Screw you. I'm still higher up on the moral echelon than you because I voted for the right person. And the dick dance goes on and on and on every year in and year out. We're going to have the same conversation every time there's a new election, and the same group of ball bags post the same pictures to guilt you about not doing your civic duty. So really, really disheartening to come off such a good holiday Halloween weekend into this absolute nonsense that they made to seem as, super important and like, you better do this. And I'm just so tired of it. I'm just so tired of it. I don't care about the politics behind it. I don't care who you voted for. I hope you educated yourself on the importance of whatever election there was, whether it was for governor, congressman, councilman in your town. Like, I hope you understand what the roles and responsibilities of those positions are, and that you're voting for someone you think would best fill that role, and not just who you think is going to win or your team because you side with one team or another. I hope you didn't do that. I hope you just educated yourself, but keep it to yourself. Nobody gives a shit that you took off work to go vote for something that you likely don't know much about. Just because somebody told you it's important and your team likes to push that little like campaign message of like, we vote because we're better than you. Like, it's tired act. It's it's embarrassing. It's a joke. Every time you see it, people just they look at the pictures and they laugh. There's memes about it constantly, yet the clueless mob still does it. Just spare us next time. We got another election coming up in like a year for like the 2-year mark, senators, congressmen, all those jabronis. Save it. I don't want to hear how your uneducated ass voted for your team again and that we're pieces of shit because we didn't. Don't care. Enjoy your freedoms. I'm going to enjoy mine. Don't tell me that you're better than me, though. All right, let's move on. What's going on in this world that's better? Let me look at my notes here. I wrote some good notes. Here's a good one. Hallmark movies. Hallmark Christmas movies specifically. Now, everybody knows how I feel about Christmas. It's a great time of year. I'm obsessed with it. Not for the commercialization of it, excuse me. But I just like there's a whole lot of reasons why I like it. Reminds me of good times when I was a kid. The big man, Santa Claus, giving us good gifts, watching all the movies. And despite what people say about, you can't, you're putting your tree up too early, you're putting your decorations up too early. Like, I don't care. I don't do that personally. My decorations go up at an appropriate time. But if that's what you want to do, go for it. Just don't guilt trip me about it either one way or the other. But I'm here for Christmas. Hallmark Christmas movies started, I think, already, which is very early. But I'm not mad about it because I'm illogically obsessed with these types of holidays, the triumvirate, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Those are the big three for me, the holiday big three. So I'm not mad one bit about it. I hope you guys watch those. They're cheesy, to say the least. They're cheesy. They're corny. They're the same type of movie. The main character is like some successful city dweller, has to go back to their hometown for some reason, whether like their parent died or someone got sick or they like lost their job and they're going back to their roots. They go back to the town. They meet their childhood crush again, who's still living there, but they're successful. Everybody knows their name. It's like Cheers in these small towns. There's a whole storyline of them falling in love and having to do something Christmas related together, like, the holiday parade is coming up or the lighting of the tree is coming for the town and we got to help out and this and that. So they do that together. They fall in love. Santa Claus comes and throws a little like Christmas magic on the two of them. At the end, they sort of get into a fight and they separate. And then by the end of the movie, they come back together. They kiss under the mistletoe and Santa Claus flies away happy and victorious once again. It's the same shtick. I watch every single one of them every year. Same shtick, same actors, different names of the towns, but the same damn thing every time, and they really have the recipe for success. So if you want to check it out, I highly encourage it. It's on Hallmark. Shocker. And Hallmark Movies and Mysteries has a couple of mystery themed Christmas how you doing. So go check that out. All right, big news coming up. Before we step into the cage, before we hit the junction, we're 1 week out of the Rocky run. Nicky Styx's year-end goal to beat his previous time and crush the Rocky run. I challenged him. He's been stepping up. You could see on the Instagram stories I post every week. He'll send me his run times and his distances, and he's been grinding during this training, and he's coming for the Crusher. He's coming to cancel another top tier guest, the Bone Crusher, as for the best guest of the year. Now, because we'll be running the race over the weekend, the episode that'll come out during that time will not reflect the results of the race. But what we will do is I'll post some story updates throughout the race when I can. I'll post some results, and then I'll probably schedule like an Instagram live, and I'll keep you guys apprised on Facebook and Instagram of what that's going to look like and what time and all that. But there may be a post-race ceremony. I'm still waiting on a couple of things logistically to happen, but there may be a post-race little LPDS ceremony to occur. And if that's the case, we'll put that up on live, and then I'll record it so that we can put it up afterwards either way. But stay tuned for that. Very excited for the race. My brother has been training real hard for this. Not like the last time we did it where it was sort of half-assed all around. This one, he's going for gold. So I'm excited to get it. It's going to be cold. Can't be wearing these nip shirts out there. So we're going to prepare accordingly. We're going to be ready to rock and roll for the Rocky Run. So stay tuned for that. Very exciting stuff. But with that, exciting stuff to come today. So we might as well just get right into it. Finally, we'll step into the cage.
Okay, let's run.
All right. Today's Into the Cage segment is proudly sponsored by Billy Brajol's fishnet jock straps. One of the most annoying things about having to wear a jock strap every day is just how hot and sweaty your ball bag gets from it. Well, now, with a Billy B's fishnet J-strap, your sweaty ball days are over. The never-before-seen fishnet technology eliminates constriction and allows for a breathable ball bag environment. So to give your ball bag a breath of fresh ass today, visit www.brajolsballs.com and use the promo code SCROTSAVIOR for 2% off your first Billy B's strap. Yes. Get those fishnet J-straps, men. Give you the support you need and the breathability you crave. These are the jokes, folks. All right. Cage fact today. So this entire episode is actually going to be cage themed, and I'll get into more of that in the junction. But today's cage fact comes from National Treasure, and you'll see why later on. But in the movie National Treasure, the first one, the OG, Nic Cage's character, Ben Gates, they're in this clothing store, this like outdoor adventure clothing. How you doing? It's sort of like an REI, it looks like. And they're buying clothes to change their disguises so that they can go and save all the treasures and stuff. But in that scene, Nic Cage he pays for the clothes, and the lady at the cash register doesn't believe that the money is real, that the $100 bill is real or some crap like that. And for collateral, to provide her comfort that he's doing the right thing and giving her real money or whatever, Nic Cage offers up his watch, and he says, this is a diver's watch. It's worth a lot of money. Why don't you hold on to it for collateral and what have you, and we'll be back to give you the rest of the money or whatever the hell it is. But the little fact about that is that watch was a Rolex Submariner. And at the time, that watch brand new was $8,500. And I don't know for sure if that was Nic Cage's real watch. I know it definitely matches up with the character of Ben Gates, who was like in the Navy and was a diver or whatever, because there's a scene where he dives off the Intrepid aircraft carrier because of his skilled diving experience or whatever you want to call it. But That watch, $8,500. And he gave it as collateral because this jabroni didn't believe him that he was given a real $100 bill. So that just, further proves Nic Cage being just such a magnanimous human being, is willing to sacrifice or, show, I'll give you this $8,500 watch as collateral to prove to you that I'm an honest, moral man. So, and I know it was just the character Ben Gates, but whatever. Nic Cage probably doing it in real life too. So anyway, that's a Cage fact. So you're welcome. There you go. Moving on over to the Junction today. Spin the logo up. Now, earlier in the week, I solicited for some fan feedback. And we're going to do this more often. I got to do a better job of getting the word out earlier so that people have time to come up with, whatever they want. But for this week, there's a couple of topics I wanted to discuss, and they're Nic Cage themed. Shocker. So I appreciate the fans and you guys providing that and asking those questions and these little hypothetical how you doings. Because if you know anything about me, I'll talk about Nic Cage or anything related to him all day long. So this Junction topic, the first one we'll talk about, has to do with National Treasure. So I don't know how many of you are following this. Now, I'm a pretty big Nic Cage nut, to say the least, and I've been following and waiting for this damn new National Treasure to come out for a long time. They've been writing it and prepping it and rewriting it for years now, saying number 3 is coming out, don't you worry. And then last year they said it's definitely coming out. We got the script written or whatever, and then all of a sudden it just kind of went dark. Now we find out that Disney Plus, instead of making a movie, it seems like they're making a new series on Disney Plus, National Treasure series, without the main characters, without all the original characters. So they're just taking the story and the success of the original and in some despicable, sleazy money grab by Mickey Mouse himself, they're rebranding it with new characters and an adjusted storyline. But they're using the same National Treasure wasta and scruples and what have you to get you sucked in to go watch it and pay attention to it. Without Nic Cage, okay? Think about that for a second. So I think the main character is an ethnic woman or something. She's the lead character, and the story plot is loosely about they're gonna shittily write off why it's not Nic Cage as the main character of National Treasure. It's somebody else. I'm sure they'll do a terrible job with that. And then they'll have, I think the first season is a 10-episode season they already have ready to produce and film or whatever. But what I don't get, here's why I disagree with this vehemently. Okay? I don't care about Disney. This is Disney's MO is to create woke versions of other old successful things. So I'm not surprised by this. I don't care that much. It's just, it's a tired act. I have no problem with any race, religion, culture, sexuality, orientation, whatever. I'm all for it. The LPDS community is all inclusive. We are just as much, an alphabet mafia here at the LPDS as everybody else is. So we're here for it. We love that shit. Everybody's part of the community together. We're all, in the same country, same team, same family. Love that. But instead of bastardizing an already successful franchise with your woke version of it, just make a new story and have the lead character be that whatever they are. A transmorph, a minority, a woman, somebody with a disability, whatever it is you want to do, just make a story for them. Make them the lead character of their own new adventure for us to get behind and enjoy. What is the reason behind just recycling previously successful shit, wokeifying it, and then throwing it back out there with little preparation and creativity whatsoever. And they just think that the name National Treasure is going to get people, to watch it in droves. It's going to be the huge success like the movies were. When in reality, what made those movies a success? The story plot was good. Sure, it was very fun. I love that treasure hunt kind of how you doing. It was nice and good campy kind of adventure, family friendly. But it had the number one guy in Hollywood of all time, probably. The top guy, Nic Cage, the number one, best of the best, greatest to ever do it in the movie, playing himself with a different name. That's what you get. That's why these movies were so successful, because you get this wild card, Academy Award winning, absolute just varsity level athlete in the Hollywood circles doing his thing, perfecting his craft, his artwork right there for us. That's why it was so good. I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence. Who else can say that quote and have it that be that like memeable and quotable and immortalized? Nobody. Put anybody else in that role, and that quote has zero weight behind it whatsoever. So the fact that Disney thinks that they can replace Cage to fit their own whatever narrative and agenda, which is mainly more so like we just got to make money, but we also want to be PC about it because we don't want to anger anybody. That's what it is all for. It's all for profit. It's easy money because the franchise was so successful. But if they think they're going to replace him and get away with it, it's just despicable. And I feel bad for the people, the other actors that are going to be doing this new series, this new version of it, because they're going to get a whole bunch of hate from uneducated, ignorant types people who just love to hate on the internet. And it's not their fault. They didn't create this woke version. They just got hired to do a job, and they're trying to be actors and actresses and get gigs. So if someone offers them, hey, you want to be part of the National Treasure franchise? Yeah, they're going to do it. I don't blame them one bit. And they're probably good actors. I mean, nothing against Disney. I love Disney World and Donald Duck. They hire a lot of good talent. They fire a lot of good talent too. But so they're probably good at what they do. They'll do a good job as those actors. But I mean, honestly, create a new series for them. Create a new set of adventures for this particular character you want to portray. And let us enjoy that. Now it's a new thing you can work off of. Not the same old shtick. I mean, what has Disney been doing that's new these days? Absolutely nothing. How many different Star Wars spin-offs are you going to do, Disney, to suck that one dry? Because us nerds who like Star Wars and adventure are going to keep going back to it. And you're just preying on that. Use your big boy brains and think of something better for these people, for the audience and for the actors and for whatever other narrative you're trying to push. Be creative about it. You want people to actually get behind something you do. Don't get rid of the number one best of all time actor in a highly successful franchise. How you doing? And think you're going to get away with it, because we don't let people get away with bullshit and shenanigans here at the LPDS. You're going to be called out for it. And I appreciate the fan who brought this to our attention. I don't appreciate that I get heated over little stupid things like this, but this had to be discussed. This is a hotly contested topic and item. Nic Cage is irreplaceable. No matter what the movie, if you're doing a woke version or not, whatever it is, think of any movie that Nic Cage has ever been in and done before in his entire existence. Every part he's played. It's unimaginable to think of another actor in that same role doing that same performance. Unimaginable. Think about that for a second. Honestly, objectively speaking, whether you like Nic Cage or not, he is a commanding presence behind the big screen or on the big screen, whatever you want to call, whatever the saying is. He is as unique and specialized and recognizable as they get in the film industry. Take him out of his roles in any of those movies, those Face Off, Con Air, The Rock, even the shitty ones, Wicker Man, Knowing, all these movies, Bad Lieutenant Port of Call. Put somebody else in those roles. Tell me how good those movies are now. Tell me how good The Rock is without Stanley Goodspeed as Nic Cage. I mean, give me a break. So the arrogance of Disney to think that they could just easily swap out the greatest of all time for anybody else is absolute insanity. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. It's embarrassing that they sat in their little think tank, in their little mouse hole with that corrupt sleazeball Mickey Mouse in their echo chamber talking about this idea, thinking that they could get away with this. Oh, yeah, we'll just put somebody else in for Nic Cage. No problem. Take a hike with that stuff. I mean, just imagine Ben Gates, not as Ben Gates. Give me the spectacles. I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence. I could eat a peach for hours. Imagine that. Imagine somebody else saying that line from Face Off. I could eat a peach for hours. Who? Seth Rogen? Keanu Reeves? I love Keanu. He's not going to be able to pull it off. Nobody can replace the great one. And just the fact that somebody brought that up in the boardroom should be fired. But instead, they got behind it. They're like, this is a great idea. Let's see how this goes. It's not going to go well, folks. Spoiler alert. I could put money on it. It's not going to go well. There's probably going to be a lot of people watching initially because it's national treasure, and nobody's really publicized that it's not Nic Cage. It just says, a series coming out, and they kept that part a little bit quiet. And then so they get people to watch. They come in, they suck them in, tractor beam, and then you watch and it's not Nic Cage. It's not Riley Poole. It's not that hot German broad. It's not John Voight. None of them. Gone. 006 gone. Ed Harris gone. None of them are there. Nobody is new. Harvey Keitel, non-existent. New cast altogether. They're pulling the wool over your eyes, jabronis. Don't let them do it. We are better than that. And I couldn't be more disappointed in their decision to do that. I wish all the best to the actors that are working on it because, again, they didn't make this script. It was not their idea. They're just doing their job, and I hope they do well. But God damn, was that a stupid decision. And it's disappointing to say the least because we were all looking forward to that third movie with the great one. But anyway, before I get too heated, I'm already kind of sweating again. Shocker. Libretti's sweating when he's running his dick sucker about something. So I got a question from another fan. It's in the comments of Instagram. And by the way, I'm gonna look at all. I looked at all the comments. I actually responded to most of them, I think, on Facebook, Instagram, wherever you sent them. We'll find a way to talk about this stuff. That's the point, is find a way to discuss these things throughout a future episode. So if it's not on this one, we're gonna discuss it. We'll find a way. Even if it's like a short like list of like, here are 5 questions that I got from fans. We're gonna bust them out. Here's the answers. Boom, 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 boom. How you doing? So keep a lookout for that. That's gonna happen. But this question I got is hypothetical scenario. And I'm going to read it so I don't jack it up. Nic Cage invites you to dinner, you being me, to the Libretti. But it's at Olive Garden. What do you do? What's the play? Now, I know there's people are probably going to be surprised by this, but if Nic Cage invited me to dinner at the Olive Garden, that's an easy yes. Okay, and here's why. Easy yes. No matter what, think about this for a second. You're talking about me here. Absolute jabroni, big-nosed moron who's obsessed with this actor I have never met before. If Nic Cage asked me to do anything, and I say no, you take me out back behind the shed immediately. I won't even be mad. If you tell me, hey, Nic Cage asked you to do this and you said no, I'll just be like, here's my shotgun. My time here is done. Take care of me. Do what you got to do. I made him, I'm done here. Got it. I would never say no to a Nic Cage question like that or an invitation. Just look at his past history in the public eye that we know about. Of all the things that he's got himself into that people will film, or the stories they've told, all the adventures, him doing karaoke drunk, him helping out a guy stranded on the side of the road. Being part of that, being around Nic Cage, around the great one, is an absolute, always 100% always going to be an adventure. It's a guaranteed story, no matter what. So there's no doubt in my mind I would say yes, or I wouldn't say yes. There's no doubt about it. I would absolutely. If Nic Cage just says, hey, would you want to? Yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Cage. I would be honored. I'll do Human Centipede with you. Is that what you want? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. We could go do karaoke after. Don't eat burritos, please. You're not saying no to the great one. You're not doing it. Easy. That's reason number 1. Reason number 2 is a key nuanced thing that people, I think, seem to forget about my blacklisting issue with Olive Garden and the caveat I have. My big caveat with Olive Garden is that I will never pay my own money at the Olive Garden. Anything I blacklist as far as food restaurants and stuff like that go, food places, it's not that I refuse to eat it or try it. It's I will never waste my money on it. If somebody wants to buy it for me and insist I have it, fine, I'll try it out. I likely will not like it. In fact, I know I won't like any of that shit. But I'll try it. And if you know anything about Nic Cage, which you should, because I give a goddamn fact about him every week here on the podcast, you know he's likely going to pay for everything on our adventure. So if he's paying for everything, I'm going. If he's going to pay for the Olive Garden, I'm going with him. Not going to like it. I'm not going to like the Olive Garden itself, but I'm going to be with Nic Cage, the great one, the best of all time, the hero. I mean, imagine sitting anywhere with your hero after they invite you. Who's saying no to that? Plus, I'll get some key one-on-one time. I want to befriend him so that we could build a rapport and that this is not the only time we're hanging out. We can become something better, more, friends, pals, comrades. Okay. And once I get you into the door like that, I'm pretty decent at keeping you around, at least for a second date, if you will. So, plus, it gives me an opportunity to have an adult conversation with anybody, with somebody about the issues of Olive Garden. And it gives me that opportunity. There's potential there to change someone's mind for the better. Allow them to see the light, if you will. And maybe get them on board, anybody on board against Olive Garden and their shitty, like frozen, reheated meals that they tell you are home cooked by chefs who are trained in Italy. They're stupid hack attempts to try to get more customers in. I will make this burger, this Italian burger. Italian burger? Who's believing that? What country ass bumpkin motherfucker? Sorry, Terrence Family Show. Shit. Is believing that crap. Oh, this is the Italian burger, so it's got to be authentic Italian. Go to Italy and look for an Italian burger, an authentic burger. Let me know how it is. A spoiler alert, they only sell them at McDonald's in the tourist trap areas. Okay? There is no such thing as an Italian burger, people. And luckily, you guys already knew that. You saw right through the bullshit because within 2 months of them putting that out, they had to pull it because it was such an utter disaster, an absolute laughable failure. So thank God you guys saw right through that crap and didn't allow for any sort of level of success with that bullshit burger. And then the lies. Their chefs do not train in Italy. We know this already. This is well documented, both on the internets and here on the show itself. We all know this. Their food is not cooked in-house. Kids' cuisines are more authentic and homemade than the crap that they put out. And I don't want to hear about, the salad and breadsticks. All you can eat salad and breadsticks. You can get a dog shit Caesar salad anywhere. Anywhere. If the best thing about a so-called authentic Italian restaurant is their Caesar salad and dildo-shaped breadsticks, you're not at a good Italian place. Okay? If they claim to be authentic Italian just like home, and the only thing memorable about the place is their appetizers, their bagged Caesar salad that you can make yourself. You just shake it up in a Ziploc. That is one of the red flags, if not the biggest red flag, that this place sucks. So don't make that the reason why you still go there. Oh, they got good salad and breadsticks. You can get that literally anywhere else. Okay? They got good bread everywhere. Actual real bread. Not little tiny, like whatever, the yeast dildos that they just heat up in their toaster oven and then slam margarine, and I can't believe it's not butter spray all over it. And stale garlic powder. Okay? You're getting duped. If you think that's the reason to go there, you're getting duped. You got to be better than that. I know you can be. Let's do it. Let's be better. Now imagine I get Nic Cage on board with this premise, this campaign against this dog shit, lying bastard company. When Nic Cage gets passionate about anything, it makes worldwide waves, tsunami-sized waves globally. All right? Imagine getting the great one with his dramatic Hollywood theatrical prowess behind this effort, behind this cause, if you will. That would be unbelievable. And if my only opportunity is to get him at the table at an Olive Garden to have this discussion, to walk the dog, to get him going, to thinking about this, to start the conversation, you bet your ass I'm going to do it. Because any day of the week, I'd rather have Nic Cage on my side against Olive Garden, whatever cause I'm active about and vocal about. Rather have Nic Cage than anybody else. PETA, Greenpeace, none of them hold a candle to the cage. None of them. So if Nic Cage comes up to me and says, hey, I'd like to take you for dinner. We could steal the Declaration of Independence, but we got to go to Olive Garden. Yeah, got it. Done. Sew my mouth to your asshole. We're human centipeding it all the way to the OG. Don't care. Easy answer. Now, I might surprise you. I don't know. But I stick to my convictions, and that's what we're here to do. That's what the LPDS is all about. Sticking to your convictions, not flip-flopping, not being a beta bitch boy. I can stick to my convictions, accomplish my goals, and meet my hero. If you think I'm going to say no to that, if I ever even consider saying no to that, I got a shed in the backyard. You could take me right behind and end it, because we'd be doing everybody else a service to get that toxicity out of this country anyway. So that's all I got today, folks. That is the first round of quality fan feedback that I appreciate, and it's great stuff. We're going to keep doing it. Expect more little videos to ask to solicit for that. What I would love to get is for people to ask questions for advice, whether it's dating advice, life advice, sibling issues you got going on, you need help with. We're here for you guys. Okay? So keep that shit coming. Send the emails, send me DMs, text messages, whatever you got to do. I write it all down in my handy dandy notebook, and we prepare for the lessons and the education and the experience to provide to you guys. So it all plays, whatever you want. If you want to keep it anonymous, let me know. Email it or DM me or whatever, and just say, hey, don't mention my name, but this is what I want to hear about from the community, from the junction, from the LPDS universe. This is what I want to hear. Got it. Done. Consider it done. We'll find a way to make it happen. But before we go, like usual, we got to talk about important things. Big 3. Exercise every day. Number 1. Anything. Go for a walk. Get your steps in. Jumping jacks. Push-ups. JOs. Jumping humps. Whatever you got to do. Burn the calories. Get the endorphins rushing through your system. You'll feel better physically, mentally, emotionally. Number 2, don't be a shitty person. Okay? Don't hide behind your keyboard and your Twitter and Instagram handles to be complete assholes and apathetic people towards other human beings that you've never met before ever, which is a wild concept that you can dedicate so much emotion and hate towards somebody you never met before in person. Wild. But it's very easy to do it because people post shit on Instagram and Twitter and social media, and it drives and it immediately evokes emotional reactions from us. You see something, you read something that somebody puts in a little tweet or whatever, and you already have an emotion towards it. I get it. The feeling can't be helped. But you got to step back from those emotions, understand that this is a human being. You don't know the context behind why they're being like this. Even if they're being a shitty person themselves, that doesn't give you the moral high ground to be shitty in reciprocal, or whatever the big boy term is. You don't answer shitty with shitty. Then the whole world ends up just being shitty. It's a very easy, math equation. If you respond to shit with shit, that's double shit. All right? Not enough plungers in the world can handle that. Cut the shit. Don't be a shitty person. Be nice. All right? And number 3, the most important, especially I know as the holidays are coming up, this is what we're going to think about with Thanksgiving, is being genuinely thankful and grateful for all the good you have in your lives. And what is the one big thing we continue to push out every week here is that mindset should not just be dedicated solely to one day of the year on Thanksgiving. That is an everyday mindset. You want to get rid of the shit in your lives and around you. Cultivate that positive, thankful, grateful mindset and spread that seed. Genuinely, though. Actually do it. Try to do it every day. And things will get better. Don't just do a throwaway toast on Thanksgiving. Oh, I'm thankful for my mommy. Everyone's thankful for their mom. Do it every day. Be thankful every day. Feel it. Consciously think about all the good in your lives and why they came to you, why you have that. What have you done since then to show gratitude towards that, to take advantage of that and not take it for granted? Every day we should be doing that stuff, not just on holidays. And now that's all I got. So thank you guys for the feedback. I can't wait to get more from you. I'm going to keep soliciting for it. We're going to try to keep making the junction of a fan-driven junction. I want to hear from you guys. I want to know what is important to you. Tell me what you're grateful for. Tell me some of the things that you want to be shitty about and you're trying to hold back and you need help on figuring out ways to hold back from being a shitty person. Or if you're having trouble getting motivated and getting into a disciplined routine of exercising every day, tell me about it. I want to hear about it so we can try to help people. Because we joke and we have fun on the show every week, but it's not always assholes and rainbows. There's a real shit that you guys are dealing with in your lives, and I get it. So am I. We want to help each other out. So if we can help here, let us know. Send it over. Send the feedback. Tell your friends, tell your enemies to like, subscribe, send their feedback. Whatever it is, the LPDS universe is here for it. We are open for business for everything. Okay? All the time, day and night. That's it. Thank you again, guys. I love you all. Stay strong.